Union Township monthly meeting will now come to order. We'll stand for a moment of silent prayer. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, on the roll call, Mr. Vernon. Here. Mr. Scott.
Here.
I guess you are here.
I'm here, buddy.
You're going to be here for a while, aren't you?
At least 4 more years. Congratulations, Mr. Scott.
Robert Schiffbar here.
Mr. Schiffbar, congratulations on your 6-year term.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
All right. Next item, Roadmaster's report. Mr. Scott.
Yes, sir. On the Roadmaster report for the month of October, we ran the sweeper truck 8 days. We patched 12 days. Like I talked last month about that mill that we bought, we've been using it a lot and doing the patches a little better than we used to. So it seems to be working really well. And, we're getting a lot more done than we did before. We changed the catch basin in Heritage Hills, and we milled a big patch there and patched it. We have 4 more catch basins to change over there. They're all rotted out, so we're working on that now. We fixed the bridge on Buttermilk Lane. We widened it out and poured 2 head walls on the bridge at the end of Buttermilk Lane. We hauled compost 16 days, changed 12 stop signs, and straightened 8 more. We milled and paved in Jamison, Columbus Circle, down on Station Street, and a couple other small patches here and there. We built a new flower box. It's located where the old Howard Johnson's used to be, where Dr. Glad, Dr. Wilson's office is. We changed that, put a new one in for the garden club. And we ran the tractor 4 days, and we ended up putting the tractor away, and all the snow plows are ready to go. I hate to say, but they are. And that concludes my Roadmaster report, sir.
Okay, but boy, we can't wait until it starts to snow, too.
Yeah.
Mr. Vernon, you have anything?
That covered everything very well.
Okay. All right. Mr. Vernon, it's your turn for the Code Enforcement Officer report.
Okay, for the month of October for our South Union Township Code Enforcement report, again, we have 1 code officer who works Monday through Friday from 7 to 3:30. We have another officer who works 3 days a week, hit and miss, so we can try to patrol a little bit extra for the state police to help him out. We have 4 part-time officers working the evenings, so we're covered 7 days a week. Letters sent out for property repairs, we had 8 for the month of October. 2 junk vehicles is 2. We have 3 you have to be there watching it. High weeds and grass, we had 6. That should about a 0 hopefully next month. We had 2 quad complaints. We had a total of 8 citations issued by our Township Code Enforcement Officer. Total of 29 letters went out for different violations. Miles traveled throughout the township by our full-time officers, 1,239 miles, and for our part-time officers, 2,114 miles, for a total of 3,343 miles throughout the township for the month of October. Also, our officers gave out 4 handicap tickets and 10 Faraday tickets. That covers my report for October. Also, we had 1 light go down by Dr. veterinarian over there, Dr. Blouse. There's a hit and run. The state police are still investigating it.
Second on the motion.
I'll second.
Motion has been made, duly seconded, to approve the minutes of last month's meeting. On the roll call, Mr. Vernon.
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbar, yes. Motion carries. Any questions on the agenda items? Or from the audience? If not, we'll move on. Okay, the next item, motion to adopt proposed budget for the fiscal year 2016. We've had the budget here for viewing for the public, and we were here to answer any questions on the budget. I think we're definitely in very good financial shape for the township. We are carrying the balance, maybe not as much as some people think we carry, but it appears, it certainly more appears that the status of the township from a financial standpoint and from the looks of the budget, there is good news for the upcoming year. There, all likelihood, there's going to be no tax increase, unlike other bodies such as school boards and county commissioners, but there will not be a tax increase for our township residents as far regarding the South Union Township Board of Supervisors. I don't know, Mr. Vernon, would you like to read off some of the items here? Give us some figures.
Okay, for our proposed budget, we're going to adopt hopefully in a few minutes. The general fund, our receipts we have coming in is we're figuring hoping to get $4,238,038. And our expenditures we're figuring on $3,101,000. But we're figuring on a balance of $854,000 end of the year. State liquid fuel funds we're figuring on receipts totaling $386,553, and our expenditures are going to be $371,800. Our fire hydrant fund, we're figuring on receipts coming in at $23,079, and we're going to expend $23,049. In our athletic fund, we're hoping to get in $56,281, and our expenditures will be $42,400. In the North Union South Union Government Board Fund, we're hoping to have a balance of $15,000 going in, and our solid waste collection is $66,000, so the total is $81,158, and we're figuring on spending $64,200. That should cover it, so we should not have to raise taxes at all then. So,
40 some plus years, no tax increases in the township. Mr. Scott, would you like to add anything regarding the proposed budget?
No, just as I explained in my election process the whole time, I explained where the taxes come from, and we have one of the lowest tax bases in Fayette County, and the reason being for all the growth that we've had over the years and our assessed value and the money that we get in from mercantile tax and wage tax and stuff like that. That's why we're able to keep the taxes as low as we can. So keep going after the economic development. That's what we're about.
That certainly is very true.
So you need a motion then to adopt it then?
Yeah.
I'll move to adopt the budget for 2016 with no tax increase.
We have a second on Mr. Vernon's motion.
I'll second.
A motion has made, duly seconded, to adopt the budget as read and prepared for the year 2016 for South Union Township. On the roll call, Mr. Vernon.
Yes.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Schiffer, yes. Motion carries. Next item of business, motion to hire a mechanic. Earlier this year, we had one of our mechanics retire. We normally maintain a staff of at least 2 mechanics, and judging from the upcoming winter season, we're certainly going to be needing a replacement. We have a lot of breakdowns during the winter season, and to have a full staff of mechanics, for the township, it's I think the wise and prudent thing, because certainly when we have a breakdown on one of our plow trucks, we need to get it back out on the road as quickly as possible. With that, before I make a motion, any comment about our mechanics, what we're doing here?
No, just so people understand, like Bob said, we had 2 mechanics, and one retired, and I sort of was been filling in, his shoes in the past year. But when you're subbing out this stuff to mechanic shops, people know how much. If you can do it yourself, you save. His salary will be paid by what we've been subbing out to other, like the Ford garage or something like that. So it's definitely a need. I know in our family business we always had at least 1 mechanic, sometimes 2, depending on how busy we were. And the money we would save at the end of the year from not having to outsource it was amazing. So hopefully that's what we're trying to bring back to the township. Have 2 mechanics on. There's always stuff breaking, and the longer we can keep stuff and keep it running, the less we have to buy new, and we'll save money that way too.
Plus, don't be more just a mechanic, it'll be also a laborer too.
Yeah.
If you're driving a plow truck, and we need done like the rest of our laborers, just adding the mechanic part on to his job.
Right.
And we've also looked at some There are some applicants who's indicated an interest in gaining employment in the township, and I think we've come up with a very qualified young man who's had training in diesel mechanics, mechanic work, and he's been employed in that field now for a number of years. So with that, I'd like to make a motion that we hire as the township new mechanic DJ Mancini. Do I have a second on the motion?
I'll second Mr. Schiffmeier's motion.
Motion has been duly seconded to hire DJ Mancini as a township mechanic and laborer. On the roll call vote, Mr. Schiffmeier, yes. Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
And Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, item number 11. Announce a Hopwood Light Up Night on Friday, November 20th. It's that time of the year we're getting into the holiday season. And I know, Rick, you've been communicating with the firemen and the other group of individuals who are involved in the Hopwood community, and I think you have something here to bring us up to date on what we're going to do.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Schiffmeier. Just talking with Mr. Large, the fire chief of Hopwood, a couple hours ago, we worked out an agreement that they're going to take care of it again this year. Hopwood Village was offered to help also, but the fireman's going to take it again. We're going to provide a Christmas tree up there. We'll plant it, and probably we'll just take it out as soon as the Christmas is over. We'll plant it, we'll help decorate it, and we told them we give a donation to the fire department for hot chocolate, coffee, or cookies. So we're going to meet at 5:30 at the Hopwood Fire Hall on the 20th, on Friday. And then we'll walk up at 6 o'clock from the fire hall up to the corner of the Hopwood Fairchance Road, and we'll light the Christmas tree and come back down and have some trees donated by the fire department. Again, Mr. Large is going to contact Hutchinson Elementary School also, and also the middle school regarding it also. And so if there's any question, you can call our office. Have any questions regarding it, but we made November the 20th, that's a Friday, and hopefully by the end of this week we'll have our Christmas lights up also at Hopwood. We're going to work on them tomorrow. I should cover everything. Anything else I missed, Mr. Scott?
No, just I'd like to see more people this year. I know the fire department put a lot of work into it last year, and we had a nice crowd. But it'd be nice if if you guys have not doing anything, try to make it out. It's a nice little function, and we had a good time.
We're going to request our cameraman to be there too to provide some footage for us on our cable station.
Correct.
Mr. DePay said he would be willing to help us with that again, as he did last year.
Yeah, and I would just like to bring an update on the park there at the intersection of 40 Hopwood Fairchance Road. If you've driven by there lately, you've noticed we removed a substantial amount of landscaping and shrubbery there, and that is in preparation for some of the improvements that will be taking place here shortly, and getting ready for the dedication of Mr. Frankhauser's plaque that we will be installing there at that location. I think it looks better from what we've done already, but we certainly do plan to do some other things that will freshen up the park and even make it more presentable. That will take place over the next month or so. And then sometime in the spring, when we get a break in the weather, we will have a formal dedication of the park and a dedication to Mr. Frankhauser's monument. Anything else on that, gentlemen? Okay, if not, we'll move on. Comments of the public. Any comments from the public? Well, I'm going to make a comment here, and I'm acting as a public. This last week we had an election in the township, and it was a hard election, especially for the position of Township Supervisor. And I'd like to congratulate Mr. Scott on his victory. With him, we've always said this, he brings to the table an awful lot in his experience and his capabilities, and his another thing that he brings to us, Mr. Vernon and I don't quite have, is that thing called youth. And that's something we certainly need here on the Board of Supervisor. And with his other skills, I think, including what other two of us bring to the table, I think the township future is in good hands and will be for quite some time in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Schiffmeyer. I appreciate it.
Quite welcome.
I enjoy being here. I really do. And I was ecstatic Tuesday night when I found out I won. Just I had so many people helping me, and it's just good. It's a good feeling, I'll tell you. And I've been on the other side before, as many of you know, and it's not such a good feeling. And I wish my opponent well. I really do. I hope him and his family are at peace with the outcome. And if there's anything I can do for anybody, definitely just give me a call, and I will be there to help you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, one more thing we have to remember now also, we're glad Jason won. It was a hard-fought election, but also to my right is Mr. Schiffbar, our senior member. He just got elected for another 6-year term unopposed. Schiffbar, I just congratulate you. That doesn't happen too often. For 36 years in now, so you're about 42 if you finish your term up.
Yeah. Well, it was funny the other day, somebody congratulated me on winning, and I said, no, Jason won. I actually almost forgot that I was a candidate. Unfortunately, I didn't have any opposition, but
hopefully I can say that one day, because that sounds much better than what I went through.
Yeah.
But
A little cheaper too.
yeah, I'll bet.
Well, the one thing I know all three of us shares is continuing to move this township in the right direction. We've been prosperous, and we certainly want to keep that going here in our township. And the more we are, the better effect it has on our township residents. Not only are we able to keep the taxes down, have you seen here in today's budget, we're also able to provide additional and expanded services, which makes our township a very attractive place to live and be. So with that...
I have a question before you go any further with our solicitor. Mr. Davis, when I did that motion for pass the budget, should I have added on that motion that like the 0.6 mills we're going to keep the same?
We have to set our millage.
That's
But
what
it
I didn't say that in the motion.
I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. I think the motion itself is probably sufficient,
Okay.
but I think for clarity's sake, we should probably say that the millage rate for this year will remain at, and why don't we do that in a separate motion?
we set that millage rate in January.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so we have to mention it there, it'll be the same?
No, I don't think
have to
that'll do
mention.
anything.
Okay, we're good there.
No,
Okay,
Mr. Schiffbar is correct. We don't set it.
Not until January
We're-
1st we set the budget.
That's at 36 years he's got. How many did you say he has? Whatever that
We
is.
finished
That's our
35 years, 10 months.
Well, we can wait till January to announce the good news, but I thought we'd
Yeah.
do a little bit early here.
Okay, that covers my question then.
Okay, but that financial statement, Mr. Treasurer, please.
Yes, sir. In the general fund checking account, $253,589.52. In the general fund investment account, $574,599.05. In the state fund, $111,038.34. In the hydrant fund, $3,790.05. In the athletic fund, $6,760.46. And then the North Union, South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $20,200.33, for a total of $969,977.75.
Any corrections?
Excellent job, Mr. Scott, as always.
Corrected myself there.
Okay, if not, we'll move on to the next item. Motion to pay current bills.
Chairman, I'll make a motion to pay the following bills. North Union, South Union Intergovernmental Board Fund, $5,350. Our state fund, $29,705.21. Our fire hydrant fund, $1,160.11. Our athletic fund, $2,365. And our general fund will be $213,018.04. My motion.
Do I have a second on the motion?
I'll second Mr. Vernon's motion.
A motion has made and duly seconded to approve the bills as read. Mr. Vernon?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbar, yes. Motion carries. Next item, solicitor's report. Mr. Davis, anything to report?
I don't have anything to report, but I do want to take a moment and congratulate you, Mr. Schiffbar, on your victory. I realize it's kind of anticlimactic since there was no opposition, but I also like to congratulate Jason Scott. I think Jason, I'm real happy for you and your family. It's been a pleasure working with all of you, and in particular pleasure working with you recently because we just got to know one another here recently. And to the extent that the board will have me, I look forward to working with you in the future. So congratulations, and
Appreciate
Good luck.
it. Thank you.
I think it just dawned on me, as far as seniority here, there's a person sitting up front here that has more seniority than I do, and that's Mr. Davis. You've been with the township for how long?
Well, I think probably about a year before you came on board. Was it about a year or so, or maybe a little
more than
longer?
that. More than that. My dad
Yeah,
was the
your dad.
supervisor when they,
Your dad was there, and he was responsible for me being hired here, just out of law school.
yeah,
And
had a rookie. Now you're a
Yeah.
veteran.
yeah, but it's been a wonderful experience, because when you represent a township as progressive as South Union Township, they do a lot of things to make the solicitor look good. That's what they do, and it's nice to have that kind of relationship.
Now, you've helped us on the legal matters. You've been a good source to help the township on anything, a matter as far as legality involving the township. We've got good advice over the years.
Well, thank you. Thanks for saying that.
Okay, before we move, excuse me, we move to adjournment, we have our township engineer here, Mr. Ober. Would you want to come up and give us a rundown of some of the things that are going on in the township, especially in the way of new development?
Sure. Good afternoon. Just a quick update.
Mr. Ober, you want to tell our people your...
John Ober, I'm with K2 Engineering, the president of K2 Engineering. With the construction season coming to a rapid close, there are a lot of projects within the township that are trying to wind up. The sheets on Route 40 should be closing and going to certificate of occupancy by the end of this month. Of course, the Harbor Freight building on the old Walmart site, the exterior of the structure is complete, and the landlord or the leasee will be moving in to complete the interior renovations for a early 2016 opening. And if anybody's interested, I know that they have open interviews this Thursday and Friday at the Fayette Career Link for positions available there. And just some of the other projects, unfortunately, I think the Route 21 reconstruction has probably been delayed somewhat due to the utility relocation that needed to happen and delays in relocating those utilities. So that's probably going to delay that project somewhat. I don't know the exact date of that, but it's just, it was a busy construction season, and it's winding down rapidly with Thanksgiving just around the corner. So that's about all I have, unless you have questions about a specific project.
Well, I think that's pretty good. And unfortunately, I know we've received some complaints about the delays on the Route 21 project, but we have to be patient. And I think with the impact of the improvements that's taking place out there, that will even help generate additional economic development.
That is correct. I mean, ultimately, that project is going to be it's going to improve the safety of the roadway considerably, the ability for people to get through that area a lot better. It's a temporary inconvenience for a permanent improvement. I mean, that's ultimately the old adage holds true there, but it also will certainly improve the economic development in that area. So, especially the safety in the area. So,
All right, thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ober.
Okay, anything else, gentlemen? If not, the chair would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn at 4:26.
We have a second on the motion.
I'll second.
The motion is made duly second to adjourn the meeting at 4:26 on the roll call. Mr. Vernon,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Schiffbar, yes. This meeting stands adjourned.